Hi, welcome to A Chef Called Rhonda. I'm Rhonda and this is my kitchen. Today we'll be making a Neapolitan classic Italian banana bread. Simple, easy, super healthy, and delicious. I'll show you the ingredients for our banana bread. I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I have a pinch of good quality salt. I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 good healthy teaspoon of good quality cinnamon. Can you see that? I will place all of our dry ingredients into our preparation bowl. I like to use a wooden spoon, a good quality wooden spoon. My 1.5 cups of flour. To that, a good quality pinch of salt. About 1 teaspoon of salt should do. A good turn so that the cinnamon and the baking powder ingredients are incorporated. We will set that aside. Next, we will create the batter. I have 3 very ripe, can you see that? 3. Now, I like to buy organic bananas. Sometimes you can get them already ripe, like so. Can you see? So the more ripe the banana is, the smoother and more creamy the consistency of our banana bread. Now I have my 3 very ripe bananas. So we have half lemon. I've already juiced it for the sake of time, like my handy dandy juicer. I'll talk more about that in the recipe recap. But half the juice of 1 lemon. This little juice is great because the top catches all the seeds. Now that we have our bananas, 3 ripened bananas, together with our lemon juice, it's time to mash them with our large fork. Can you see that? I like to use a fork that is extra in size because the tines are forgiving. And I wear vinyl gloves when I am cooking. Oftentimes my recipes call for truly hand mixing. So now it becomes mushy. Let's talk a little bit about the bananas. I like to buy organic. Traditional banana is fine too, but the more ripe they are, the flavor is just that much more intense. So now that I hand mash the bananas with the lemon juice, you can see smooth but yet textured consistency. As we move over to our food processor, I do have 3/4 cup of unsalted. Can you see that? And I already pre-chopped it. Butter, and I have 3/4 cup of white granulated, and you can use caster sugar. Can you see that? Now it's time to add the sugar to our food processor. I will add my 3/4 cup of previously chopped unsalted butter. Process on high for about 15 seconds. Until the butter and the sugar have been sufficiently combined. Next, I will add just about a 1/4 teaspoon of good quality vanilla. And yes, I choose to use Mexican vanilla. Now I'm going to add my 2 room temperature eggs. We will process the eggs with the sugar, vanilla, and butter for about 25 seconds or so, just until the eggs are incorporated and the batter begins to turn a pale yellow. Next, it's time to add our lemon juice and banana mixture. That wonderful large wooden spoon comes in very handy because it helps to feed your food processor. Oh, the smell is heavenly. Process for about 1 minute, incorporating the banana, lemon juice, butter, sugar, vanilla, and the eggs. Now it's time to add our dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, forming our final batter and preparing for our baking of our Italian banana bread. Our batter is complete and the entire kitchen smells so banana-y with a hint of lemon. My batter is done, and I'll take my trusty spatula here. Can you see that? I bought this wonderful spatula the other day at my local grocer in the utility section, or the houseware section of my market. Fantastic. The banana bread will bake for an hour at 350 or until your toothpick inserted will come out clean. I am using, and you can take any baking dish of your desire, a loaf pan. I traditionally like my round 9-inch, but my trick here is I've already buttered the bottom of the pan and sprinkled it with my all-purpose flour, having an easier time to remove our banana bread and plate it into our previously prepared baking pan. And again, I'm using a 9-inch round, and I'm just going to gently remove the batter like so. And you can see all the little bits of the banana, you know, because the banana went to that fully ripe stage, you get that nice bit of brown specks. Now, yes, you can add walnuts. Yes, you can add almonds. Yes, you can doctor it up a bit. Yes, you can use orange if you like orange and banana, but the lemon and the banana, oh, it just has such a nice combination, and that hint of vanilla through the batter, oh, it just makes for a wonderful, wonderful little snack with your hot coffee. And next, I will just take a butter knife and just gently swirl the center just to make it a little bit pretty. Beginnings of our Italian banana bread. All right, we're going to pop this in the 350 preheated oven. Just removed our Italian banana bread from the oven, and it should look something like so. So now that I've allowed the banana bread to sit and render down to a semi-cool, I'm going to take my butter knife, clean butter knife here, and because the pan was well prepared, I'm just going to go right around the edges here to kind of loosen the banana bread from its sides. The little trick of the trade is I take my plate, just a regular old white plate, and I will cover my baking pan where the banana bread is living at this time, and prepare it for transfer. To flip my baking dish over. And we prepared the pan early on. I greased the bottom of the pan and the sides with butter. And then I add about a tablespoon of flour, and I just evenly sprinkle that all across the pan. Once I've flipped this, ideally, and I think I'll do this right in front of the camera, ideally I should be able to lift my baking pan like so, banana bread facing up, but there we are. You can see it's a nice golden brown. And now I'm just going to place my hand here. It's a 9-inch baking. I'm going to flip, remove, and place our banana bread atop our serving platter. Now, my final step to this process of making the Neapolitan classic Italian banana bread is using a sifter, a little confectionate sugar. Can you see that? Confectionery powdered sugar right there. To dust our banana bread right on top. Still a little bit warm so that powdered sugar will sufficiently melt into the top, and it will look so pretty. Lastly, I'm going to take the remaining half of that lemon, and I'm just going to shave a piece of the maybe a 3-inch piece of the zest, and I'm just going to place that right on top. Italian banana bread has been powdered sugared and already sliced so that we can take a big bite of that Neapolitan classic Italian banana bread. And the secret truly is the lemon and the banana work so nicely together, and the cinnamon and the creaminess of the ripened banana. Oh, second to none. It just melts in your mouth. Before I go into our recipe recap, I know that when I was making the banana bread for you and demonstrating, I spoke about my lemon juicer. This little juicer here cost about $6.99 in my local grocer. It is outstanding. If you can find this lemon juicer, and I want to show you, can you see that? Can you see that up close? It has 3 pieces. It has the bottom, which houses your juice. It then has the citrus squeezer, and it has a cover. The brand name here is Trudeau, T-R-U-D-E-A-U, Trudeau. And it sells for under $10. It is probably one of the best lemon juicers I have ever come across. The second piece there, that when you're juicing the actual lemon, it's not very good for limes, as an FYI. It's not very good with lime. Lemon, it's perfect. It catches all the seeds. Oh, it's wonderful. It has a strainer. It's perfect. So I did want to demonstrate. I've already halved one lemon. I'm just going to plop that there. I add the cover, and can you see that? The cover pieces has a few little like holder portions, plastic. And truly, I'm just going to press. And the juice is expressed in seconds. And also, the bottom container works as a measuring cup. Let me show you. Can you see that? Can you see the measurements on the little cup there? It's perfect. Toward that end, I wanted to share my little trusty lemon juicer made by Trudeau. And you should be able to find it in your local grocery. Before I recap our wonderful recipe today, I wanted to say many thanks for watching as usual. Hi to all my subscribers. Thank you for all your emails and your comments and your suggestions. Truly appreciate all of that. Please, would you subscribe to A Chef Called Rhonda? It's always fun, it's always super easy, and always healthy and delicious. To bring the piece of banana bread up close so you can see exactly the texture and how nice and even it looks. And when you bite into it, look at that. Can you see that? Okay, well, I have my cup of black coffee. Let's take a bite before I go over the recipe. Very, very smooth. Very, very creamy. I would like to recap the recipe from top to bottom. I have my trusty wooden spoon here. It wouldn't be A Chef Called Rhonda if I didn't have spoon in hand. And again, this spoon is a perfectly wonderful spoon. It's made out of pure olive wood. Recap our recipe today. The Neapolitan classic Italian banana bread. Excuse me, I do have the recipe in hand and I'll go through it really quickly with you. It's super easy, super fun, super healthy and delicious. It makes a perfect pairing to any light lunch or after an evening meal. You will need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I choose the Rumford variety, R-U-M-F-O-R-D, Rumford baking powder. It's produced in East Providence, Rhode Island, and sold nationally. It's the best of the best in my opinion. A pinch of good quality sea salt, 1 teaspoon of good quality cinnamon. I choose to use Vietnamese cinnamon. It's probably the best on the market when choosing to bake with. I utilize today 3 very ripe bananas. Brown is best when baking this Neapolitan classic. Brown, 3 medium-sized ripe bananas. I use the half of a lemon, or the juice of the half of a lemon, and then in addition, I use 3/4 cup unsalted butter that was softened, 1/4 cup granulated sugar, 2 room temperature eggs, and it's very optional if you want to add walnuts. Prior to starting the recipe, I preheated my oven to 350 and allowed that to set. I buttered a 9-inch round bake pan. I utilized butter all across the bottom and the sides, and then I sprinkled a little all-purpose flour. I whisked together the flour, the baking powder, the salt, and cinnamon, and I set aside. And I utilized my wooden spoon to do that, by the way. Yes, you can use a whisk. That's fine, too. It's just preferred. My grandmother taught me the wooden spoon is always the best way to incorporate the ingredients. Then I utilized another small mixing bowl, and I combined the bananas and lemon, and I mashed initially with a fork. Then I utilized my hands to really get into that banana and the lemon juice and to really incorporate. There's nothing like hand mixing, truly. And then in a bowl of a food processor and the sugar on high speed for about 25 seconds, just until they incorporate. And then I slowly added the eggs in. I added the banana mixture until it was fully incorporated. Then I knocked back the speed a little bit on the food processor and I added my dry ingredients and I pulsed for another 30 seconds or so. Batter into my prepared baking pan, and I evened it off with a butter knife or the back of a spoon, however, and I set it in my already preheated 350-degree oven for about an hour. Checked it with my toothpick trick, as you know, and inserted If it comes out clean, you're all done. I then had my banana bread sit on my trusty wooden board here for about 10 minutes, and then I flipped it onto my serving plate and I dusted our Neapolitan classic Italian banana bread with confectionery sugar, and I just decorated with a little bit of lemon zest. And there we have it, a Neapolitan classic Italian banana bread, brought to you from my kitchen to yours. Again, thank you for watching A Chef Called Rhonda. Please, if you like my video, give it a 2 thumbs up. And please, would you subscribe to my channel? It would be so wonderful. Our community is full of questions, full of suggestions. I invite any comments down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Until we meet again, thank you for allowing me into your kitchen. Cheers! Bye! Bye! Chindan. Salute! Bye! Remember, subscribe to A Chef Called Rhonda.